Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello. Hi. Hi. Hi, Greg. Hi, I'm Gamer. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Sero Deep Talk. Welcome to another Deep Talk tonight, everyone. It's good to have you guys here. Today, we are talking about a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while now, but last week I got super depresso espresso and I couldn't do the deep talk, so I've been sitting on these notes for a while. However, interestingly enough, I was listening to some stuff today, and it kind of gave me a bit more of an interesting perspective on what we're talking about today. But I guess we'll do a little bit of house cleaning first. How are you all? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all ready. I hope you're all excited for the deep talking tonight. I hope you're excited for the to hopefully expand your brain and learn about I don't know, a new idea or a new topic, or conduct yourself in a way that you haven't thought of before. But tonight we're gonna get a little more philosophical, because as I was doing research for this and I was learning about this, it kind of came to my attention that what I am looking for in this is what we're going to talk about is a lot more philosophical and a lot more pie in the sky, I guess. It's more of a perfect world scenario. However, it's different because we are doing, let's see, we are doing, we can do things, that's what I'm gonna say, sorry. We can do things in our daily life to make a better world, and that's what I'm hoping we can learn tonight. Hello, Colt, welcome, and thank you for the 2 months, Colt. That's really sweet of you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I don't know. I guess we can get into it. You're welcome. But no, I did want to know if you guys are doing well, if you had anything exciting going on, because I want to, I'm going to be yapping for a while, but I want to know. But I still want to catch up with everyone. I burnt the crap out of my mouth this morning and it still hasn't healed, and now all the food I eat tonight is painful. And so I haven't been having a good time with that. But it's I don't know, it's been a pretty pleasant day. It was actually very cool out. It was very nice. It was very, I stepped outside and I was like, ooh, it's cool, it's nice, I'm not like dying. Me and my girl are going to have a Netflix and chill. I don't need to know about that. You keep that to yourself. Tonight, and I hope you have a good stream. Well, thank you, Colt. I hope that goes well for you. But okay, I think we're ready. I think we're down. I love the waves. Well, good. They're supposed to be relaxing. But I guess we'll get into this now. So for those of you who don't know how this works, basically I'm gonna yap for a long time. I'm gonna just talk about a lot of the things where you're that's like on my list here of like things I want to talk about. And this might be a longer one. This might be a big old long one. But basically I talk for a while on a section that I want to talk about, and then I open the floor to you guys, and then I would like to have a discussion with you about what you think, what your opinions are, if you have questions, if you need me to clarify anything. That is basically how it goes. So I guess we'll jump into it now. Human resources. What do I mean by human resources? Well, I think a lot of you probably thinking of the HR department at your job. And that's a little bit of what we're gonna tackle, but it's not actually about HR departments or HR policy. What I mean by human resources is the actual concept of using other people as a resource, and how I think that is something that we kind of just do today, and we don't really think about it, but I think it's a super not okay thing to do. Human resources, as in, like, we have human beings who are living, breathing, thinking, feeling creatures, and we end up using them to further our own means, further our own ends, and how that is something that can be very not good, very immoral, in fact. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because we kind of live in a modern world where we live in a very capitalist society where the outcome, your production, matters far more than you as a person. Humans are not very valuable. However, what a human can produce can be very valuable. And I think that's just a real backwards way of thinking about things. And so tonight I want to kind of show us a better way. Show us a better way of how to be better people is my goal tonight. How we can see other people and make other people better with ourselves, or like make ourselves better so we can treat people better. Sorry, I kind of trailed off there for a second, but oh, hello. Hello, for everyone who's just joining us, this is a deep talk tonight. This is a type of stream that I do. Basically, I'm gonna yap for a while, but then afterwards I will turn the floor over to you guys, and you can ask questions or talk to me, or say if you have any kind of questions you'd like me to answer or clarify anything. This is kind of like a lecture, I guess. A lecture on things that I've been thinking about for a while. And tonight is called Human Resources. But I'll continue on. We are just, I'm talking about how us in the modern world, we treat people like they need to produce things for us to be considered useful or be considered worthy of anything at all. Like, you need to provide something. You as a person are not good enough. You have to give me or give something to someone, and I just don't agree with that. I just don't think that that is the correct way to treat another human being. What I believe is we should acknowledge that all humans have value. Just in the sense of they are people, and I think that should be the highest of all things, is like, you are a person. It's kind of a tricky topic to talk about, because we here in America, we're just so entrenched in this system of, you have to provide, you have to be a provider, you have to be someone who gives people things, and it kind of stinks. It's kind of a win-lose situation, and you have to be, I believe we can achieve a better world if people act differently, you know. It just takes one person at a time to help to kind of, it takes one person at a time to help other people change, you know. And like I said, I hope you all take something from my little talk tonight, and I hope it helps you think about things differently. But so that's the topic of tonight. I would like to turn it over to you guys, the audience. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys saying? Is there I mean we're about to get into stuff, and we're about to talk about it, but do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have any things that you would like me to, I don't know, clarify on? Or if you just have something you'd like to tell me or something, please let me know. Yesterday my laptop got taken away, that's why I missed your stream. Oh, it is completely alright. You do not, like I said, you do not have to follow every single one of my streams. Watched it, it was kind of fun. Oh, my outdrive, yeah, outdrive is kind of fun. that is a very fair way to put it. But yeah, this is a topic I really care about. This is something I really want to talk to a lot of people about, and get into the topic more. Because I think we can make the world better if we all just try to make ourselves better, you know. I don't know. People inspire others, is how I see it, is usually how things are. People inspire others. Now, it doesn't look like we have anything question related, anything popping up here, so we're kind of gonna go into first, how did things get this way? Why do we not really care about whether someone is a person, and instead we really focus on what can you produce for us? What can you provide me with? And this goes much deeper than how you're probably thinking right now. You're probably thinking of like a worker business relationship, you know, a manager and a worker. It's like, oh, I don't really care. You know, the boss is like, I don't really care about you. I care that you can make me money. That's all you're worth to me. But there's more to it, such as relationships. A lot of people don't get into relationships unless they feel they have something to gain. Whether that be, oh, I will gain a beautiful person, or I will gain a financial stability, I will this, I will that. But we don't just but we look at all that stuff and we say, well, that's good, but Is that how we base all of our relationships on? For some people, yes. For some people, that is kind of all they base their relationships on and care about. Is like, yeah, I like I only care about you because you have this or you have this quality, or I like only really this part about you. And so it's a very toxic way of looking at people when you kind of put it like that, right? But it's then out of nowhere, it's like human relations kind of go out the window, don't they? Human relations kind of go out the window when it's something other than like a relationship between two other people. Now I understand there are responsibilities and there are responsibilities. There are things that you have to get done. And like I said, this is more of a philosophical conversation to talk about rather than like this is something that is, it's more like possible in a perfect world. But I do believe we can make the world a little more ethical. If that makes sense, what I'm saying. But we got here mainly because of a lot of the Industrial Revolution is kind of where a lot of people can point to and say, here's kind of where this sort of assembly line, big money kind of idea comes from. But it also, no, it's kind of funny. It comes from two different, but it's kind of a horseshoe theory, I guess. It really comes from business, this very business-minded, very factual-based idea, but it also comes from kind of like a poor, like a poor person mindset, and I'll clarify what I mean by that later. But it's this idea of I want something and I have to use people to get it. And that's where things are very and that's kind of like how we can kind of look at it. Like boss wants money. You are worker. You work to make boss money. Boss gives you some of the money he makes. And the problem with that system is it's a very immoral system, because now you have to use a person to get money. The end goal is not another person's benefit or another person's happiness. It is your own benefit, and you are using another human being. Before I get too deep in the weeds about this, about that topic, well, kind of what I want to talk about, like on like the whole spectrum thing on the horseshoe theory side, in like super rich industrial, basically modern day work, ideas are, I'm sure you've all felt this, you work to produce something to make another person money, right? That seems to be like what a lot of these older tough guy, like, I'll work, coal mines and steak, like, I worked all day for the boss man, right? The boss man, I worked all day to earn him all his money. I broke my back to get him all the money he could ever want. But, and we'll go into, like, the people who do find value in being in that position. But we will actually that should be part of this section, so yeah, we'll get into it in a little. But what I also mean in like the poorer side of things, of people who are more poor, who engage in this kind of behavior as well, I mean this in like more of like crime sort of deal, or not even that, not even crime, but because a lot of poorer people, you know, you don't have a whole lot, and so sometimes you have to resort to taking from others or exploiting them in some way. And that is ultimately what we're talking about, is exploitation. It is, we are taking this idea of using a person as in a process rather than working towards another person's happiness. Now, I think that's all no, hang on. And another reason why we're kind of here is because there are people out there who genuinely, they get caught up in the system. You know, there's a lot of, I call them system people. I don't know. I don't really actually know what to call them. System people who, they are simply happy knowing that they are doing the right thing for the system that they are in. There's a lot of people who just get a lot of joy out of knowing, like, I'm doing the right things. Some people, you know, they really enjoy like working hard, you know, like I said, like that little impression I did, like, I made the boss man a lot of money today. That is a lot of people. My boss is actually one of those people. It can be quite annoying to deal with him sometimes. And it's because he treats it like he is doing a lot of things. He's doing something right by making his boss happy. However, he doesn't seem to be making a whole lot of people around him happy. He doesn't make his own employees happy. In fact, he seems to get kind of joy lording his own happiness over other people. Now that's me venting. However, it is just this very bad habit a lot of people have nowadays, where we have people in the system who want the system to be you have a lot of people who are in the system who want the system to be, you know, going good because they benefit from it as well. But I think that's all I want to say here. I hope everything I made sense. I feel like I missed a lot of stuff in this section, but let's turn it over to you guys. You guys are saying stuff, so let me take a look. Personally, would you choose to go into something that is secure, that secures you money wise, or take a risk following your dreams knowing it'll be hard at first? You know something, everyone has that choice in life eventually. No matter who you are. I think a lot of people choose it to be creative wise. They see it in like more of a creative sense. However, like even business owners, people who own businesses, people who do things, like there's eventually a point where you have to say to yourself, all right, I will be steady if I do this and have less, or I could risk failure and try something else. And for a lot of people, that's kind of just a personal choice sort of deal. it's kind of a personal choice sort of deal. But money is not an evil thing. To all the people out there who think money is this bad, evil thing, that you shouldn't work for money, that you shouldn't do, money is a wonderful thing. It can be a wonderful tool. You just have to use it right. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't use it right. But I want you to know, if you are someone who's like, I don't want to sell my thing for money, I don't want to do this for money, you're just being dumb. I'm sorry, but you can do so much with money. And if you don't want to make money, then you aren't going to get very far. And that's just the reality of how of life right now, you know. Not saying you can't follow your dreams, but I'm saying it's very hard to follow your dreams when you don't bring in some kind of income from that. But sorry, that's kind of a different topic than what we're talking about. We're kind of talking more about morality and human behavior right now. But thank you, Star. I appreciate your your contribution. Let's see, what does our guy over on YouTube say? I understand some of what you're saying. Not everything is so complicated. Things can be very complicated, but this is a deep talk, so we're gonna make things complicated. I'm little bro, this is so loud and annoying I can't focus. But yeah, we're having a like I said, it's good you guys have questions. It's good you guys are listening and stuff. But yeah, in terms of what Star was talking about, yeah, just know that you don't have to not make money to be a good person. is kind of what I'm saying. You can make money and still be an ethical person. But let's hit the next topic, because I think this next point is sort of the linchpin that will make everything make sense for everyone, where it's like, oh, that's the aha moment. So we're gonna get back into me talking. So there is a mathematician who figured out the formula for morality. And I've looked at his theory, I looked at his formula for morality, and I think he got it right. In my personal opinion, I think he got morality correct. And essentially what he says is, what the formula is, if you want to write this down, so you remember it, it is M equals B times A. And what that means is morality equals benevolence times action. Now, what does that mean? Essentially, it is, M stands for morality, and the moral thing is to make people happy. The most moral thing you can do is to benefit another person, or bring a moral happiness to people or other persons. And then essentially another person, a person's happiness, a person's whatever, another person's life essentially should always be at that M, the morality. That should always be your end goal, is other people. And if at any point the human person becomes a part of the process that gets you something else, so say instead of M equals BA, it is M times B, M times A equals B. But basically what I mean is you can never put another person in the process of you getting something. The second another person becomes a stepping stone for you to get something or for you to do something, that is when something becomes immoral. And it is a really, it's a very important lesson to learn, in my opinion. So always remember, M equals B times A. Now, what do we mean by benevolence? Benevolence is sort of your intentions. What are you intending to do here? So, like we talk about, a lot of the times it's not good enough to just do the right thing. A lot of times what you'll find is if you don't have the right mindset to do the right thing, you still are doing something wrong ultimately. You know, it's like you were going to rob an old lady's house and you break in, and then you find that there's another robber already trying to rob the house, and you stop that robber from robbing the old lady's house. Did you do a good thing? Yes, but did you really? You know, you were still gonna try and rob this lady's house. Your intentions were not good, meaning you weren't being a good person, right? Those were your intentions. And by action, that means, you know, also like taking action. So we'll go back to our robber example. It's, yes, he did do a good action. Now, if the robber if this burglar was just walking down the street, he saw a man break into a woman's house, and so he decided he was going to go in there and stop him. He technically broke into the lady's house. However, what saves him is that he broke into the lady's house to stop this robber. His benevolence was in the right place. So action doesn't necessarily have to be a traditionally good action, but benevolence is kind of hard to not argue with. But this should always equal the benefit of another person in terms of, you know, making their life, you know, improve, you know, treating someone like a human being. That is one of the hardest things I think a lot of people have to deal with in the world right now. It's very hard to find people who are just gonna treat you good. It's gonna be like, it's hard because the system we live in does not incentivize us to act that way. Instead, it incentivizes us to try and get something out of another person, which ultimately ends up being immoral. And so that's kind of where I wanted to. That's kind of like one of the major. That in my opinion is like the major linchpin that we have to understand is we can never let another person become part of the process of us getting something. A good example is if you want a girlfriend, for example, you want a really pretty girlfriend. And so you decide like, oh, I'm going to ask that girl out. That girl's pretty. I would love to have a girl like that. That's immoral because you are dehumanizing them in a way. You are dehumanizing them. You are saying like, I want this person because they're beautiful, instead of saying, I want this person because I love this person, or I want to be with this person. And even if you're like, oh, I want to be with this person because I'm lonely, that's also, you want to immoral. You want to cure your own loneliness. You don't actually care about this person. You just want to, not feel lonely anymore, which is like, that you are trying to serve yourself in that sense. So I hope that makes sense, I hope that clarified to you. So always remember, when the next time you decide to take some kind of action, you decide to, I don't know, do something that you're wondering, is my intentions here good? Am I doing the right thing here? Just take a moment and ask yourself, all right, am I turning this person into a process for me to get something, or am I trying to make this person's life happier or better in some way? And like I said, we just kind of live in a time where a lot of people are incentivized to not treat people like humans. The boss just wants money, and so he's going to use money. He's going to use human beings to get money. And so, we have established that is immoral. Now, is the boss a bad person for this? No, I would say no. People can make money. Like I said, making money is not, people are not, bad for entering in the process of, what the system incentivizes. It's not fair to say like, oh, you're a bad person because you engage in this stuff. The problem is the system. The problem is we kind of, if people want to get ahead in life, if people want to achieve a livable life here in this country, you have to act according in this sense, in an immoral way. So I hope that like really clarified for everyone like what we're talking about, and you guys have a much better understanding of what I'm really trying to get down to. But all right, I will turn the floor over to you guys once again. We will, if you guys, like I said, you have any questions, you have anything you'd like me to clarify, if you want to tell me something, let me know. Here, we do have a couple of chats. Let's see. I watched the stream after it ended yesterday, and I saw you sad over Applejack and Rarity. I didn't think you would be this serious in Deep Talk. Yes, well, you can tell I have a much different format from when I do these. I don't have redeems on. I don't have like little silly things bouncing around, just because I like to do this serious, more thoughtful part of me is something I should flex a little more. And I think a lot of people find these very interesting and very helpful in their own lives. Let's see. Now it makes sense. Oh, okay. I saw you say that like kind of when I was explaining stuff. By the way, I slapped my little bro to shut up. Well, I don't think you should do that, because as we established, that is an immoral action. You want quiet, and so your brother was making noise, and so you slapped him. So you abused your brother in order to get the peace and quiet that you wanted. So unfortunately there you did act immorally. But it's okay. As the youngest of two brothers, I understand. But does anyone else have anything they would like to bring up? Any questions? Anything you'd like me to clarify? Something you're not understanding? If yes, please, I'll give you a little bit of time to send your chat. If no, I'm going to drink some water, and then we are going to move on to the next section of my, topic. Let me drink my water. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Are we all ready? Are we all ready to move on here? I'm ready. Nope. Sorry. All right. So we've kind of established how to, why this has happened, what human resources are, kind of why we live in a world like this right now, and also our why morality, how we understand the formula of morality now, but now we got to take it to the real level of how do we treat people better? How do we make ourselves better people? And how do we treat people better? And the truth of the matter is, the thing that I've found is always important is to find quick little things that you can just, quick little ideas that can help you remind you of larger concepts. And so for me, I think the best way to say it is, am I treating this person like a person? You know? Am I treating this person like they are a human being, or am I using them in some way? And I usually ask myself that question after kind of when I do anything, even after I talk to my friends, or even in the middle of talking to my friends, I will ask myself, is the conversation I'm having right now for my benefit, or is it for their benefit? Am I treating people like a person? Like trauma dumping. I actually learned kind of the actual definition of trauma dumping, and I realized why it's such a bad, toxic thing. It's not about just being annoying. It is, trauma dumping is like just dumping all your emotions out on someone that can't handle it, like that you don't give them time to process. You're just like, I'm sad, here's why I'm sad. And so that really I don't know, that really kind of put my that really helped me put some things into perspective of like, okay, that I see why that's an immoral action now. But sorry, I got a little off track. Having those quick little things in your mind to help you reconnect with your mission in life, you know, because I think a lot of people have a mission in life, or at least I believe a lot of people think they have a mission or some kind of purpose or something they want to do. And for me, I want to help people. That's my main thing, is I really, really want to help people. And I don't know. I think I'm doing that now. You know, I don't think, I don't think what I'm doing is self-serving. I'm just wanting to give you guys kind of the info that's in my head, because I think it can help people. So, but we also try and curb our behavior in some ways as well. We should definitely be making sure we are acting in the best way we can, because like I said, we do live in a system that makes us act immorally. You know, we have to use other people to bring in the things we want, and because of that, sometimes we do have to act immorally. And also, we don't live in a perfect world. That's another thing. Sometimes we do just have to act immorally because that is just the way things are done, you know. So like I said, it can be very hard to act the way, you know, we want to act, and we do need to accept those facts of, yes, sometimes we're not going to get what we aren't going to be able to act in the most justified of ways, or in the best way possible. But it's okay, as long as we do our best. We can absolutely make the world even just a teeny tinier better place, because that's what moves people. That's a lot of what will move people, is just seeing another person being able to do something good. Now, we will talk about exactly how. We'll talk about exactly how we can act morally. Like I said, it's good to always keep in mind, a lot of it is mental, because we get so caught up in our wants and desires that we forget, you know, we kind of justify the ends, you know, the ends justify the means. We're like, we want this thing so badly, this thing is gonna be so great, and we can end up hurting people by chasing something like that. And so, the best way to act is to just try your best to make another person happy in a way. Just try your best to make another person good, or you know, just feel good, or just not even like sorry, this is kind of a complex thing of like, what can we actually do? And what you should do is, you should always keep in mind, am I doing this for the betterment of others? If I do this, will it improve another person's life? If yes, then you're golden. You're golden. That is what you should be doing. If no, then you have to kind of examine, is it an immoral action? Because there are morally because there are actions that can kind of not benefit everyone, and that's also why thinking like that is important. Why I focus so much on the thinking, because thinking leads to action. And we can assess, is this going to be beneficial for me in the long run? Because ultimately, it's not a bad thing to make your own happiness like your end goal. Making your own happiness your end goal is not an immoral action, as long as you're not using another person to achieve it. So don't think like, oh, I gotta just sacrifice everything. No, your own happiness can be an end goal, but in this kind of moral formula, you just shouldn't use another person to make yourself happy. Now, I understand. Sometimes you do want, that connection. You do want connection with people, and that is not, an immoral action, in a way. It is, well, this is kind of where we end up into more complicated situations with this formula, right? Are you a bad person because you picked up McDonald's and some poor teenager had to cook that for you? Is that immoral? I would say no. I don't think that's immoral. I think that would just be part of the system. I would say the system in that instant is immoral. Are you being immoral because you are crying to someone you trust? I don't think so either. I don't know. I would have to dive in a little more about this. Sorry, I've had like 2 whole weeks to think about this, and I think I lost my brain a little bit during it, but I would say mainly the big thing we gotta make sure we're doing is we're thinking correctly, and we're making sure our actions are in line with the benefit of others. I like I said, I hope that made sense. We'll stop this section here. I hope you guys liked that. I hope you guys I hope that made sense to you guys. I'll turn it over to you guys. Does anyone have any questions? Anything you guys want to bring up? Anything you've noticed or you want to talk to me about? Just let me know. Let me know if you have anything. If not, we can go on to oh wait. Alright. This doesn't look like anyone's got any questions, so we'll just head over to the next section of what can we do to stop human resources behavior, because that is important, because like I said, we live in a system that inherently acts immorally in ways. And so we have to say, well, if we want to try and not act if we want to not act immorally the most we can, then part of that should be trying to change the system. And how we change the system is we change behavior and we help change attitudes. And leading by example is always the best way. But also sitting down and explaining to people, having like I said, ultimately this is not a math equation about am I a good person. This is a math equation. It is a process that we can use to help us treat other people like human beings. And how do we treat people like human beings? We sit down with them. We sit down and we talk with them. I think that is the best, most important way to communicate with people, is to sit down with them and talk to them like they are a living, breathing person with blood pumping in their veins, instead of, mindless drones that need to do what I'm telling them. It's a very important topic to talk about, because I would like to live in a world where I'm treated more fairly. I would like to live in a world that treats people, like me, with respect and care. But it's hard to, in some ways, right? It's very, very difficult to. because I said it's all about behavior. At the end of the day, it's all about, can you control your own actions? That's the most important thing. Is one, I don't like humanism, not a big fan of humanism, but one thing I think humanism does say that's correct is you are in control of your own actions. How you choose to react to something is how you choose to react to them. For example, like someone smacks you in the face, you can choose to get angry about that, or you can just, let it go. Slap in the face isn't gonna kill you. It's not gonna feel good. It's probably not gonna feel great on your pride, but you can choose to not let it affect you. You can choose to freak out and get angry. That is a choice. I think a lot of people think, oh my gosh, we'll have to talk about this another day, but there's this idea of like your every impulse, you have to act on every feeling and every impulse. It's such a lame thing. It's such a lame behavior that I cannot stand. It's such a childish way of thinking, and there's these grown adults running around acting that way. Sorry, that's a totally different topic, but we need to choose to act better. Keeping our mind and our hearts in the right direction of, am I treating this person like a human being? It is a very interesting it's a very interesting topic for me, because I wish for me it's really tough, because I truly believe in, if you act correctly, the people around you will act correctly too. And I think I was a little flawed in that thinking. It's the people who care will act better for you. Because I was thinking about this. I remember there was a time where I was in love with a very, very attractive person. And at the time, I was not very good looking. And I remember she was my friend, and she really was like, I'll give you a chance. She treated me very well. She treated me very nicely. It wasn't anything romantic, but I remember just me being like, I gotta get to this person's standard. I've got to get to this person's standard. And so I started working on myself, and I kept thinking, like, is what I'm doing fake? Is what I'm doing wrong? And I think no, because ultimately I'm trying this person, just by being themselves, just by, in my opinion, just being better than me and caring about me, made me realize that I have got to step up my game. And so I was always like, oh, you got to act correctly all the time. And I don't think it's about that. It's about setting an example for the people who care about your being an example. It's a tricky teeter-totter, I guess, So I would say, find people who care about you. Find people who care. Find people who, love you in some way, and act better. Act better around them. Be your best self. You don't have to be your best self all the freaking time, obviously. But when you're around those people, you should try your best to set an example of like, this is how I'm going to act. Because those are the most important people. Those are the people who you are going to influence the most. So that's where I think we can start changing. Like I said, one person at a time. So many people are connected in so many ways. And so if you start helping one person, that person could go on to inspire another person who cares about them, you know? And so that's ultimately what I'm preaching here is we have to act differently. We have to think differently for the people we care about, because that can change them and they can help change others. And ultimately that'll help bring us into a better world where not as many people are thinking in this human resources, I have to get my own and I don't care what I have to do to get it. So I thought it was very, I think that is the best way we can improve the world. We'll save the world. All right. I think no, we have one more topic, and then we will end it here. So this is the second to last time I'm gonna turn it over to you guys. What do you guys have to say? Let's see. Sorry, I had an English keyboard, not a French keyboard. That's why it was wrong for one. Oh, I see. Trying to be honest, I kind of start calming down while watching your streams. Although I'm still fighting my little brother. Well, good. That is what my streams are for. They are to create a nice, calm, relaxing environment for people to help heal. You know, I really want people to just heal their minds, heal their souls, and just being a nice, relaxing place for people to just, you know, take in a deep sigh, you know, a big deep sigh, like here, and just relaxing and just not worrying about the things of the world right now. Just, you know, having someone to talk to and listen to you, and just, you know that, you know, someone out there cares. That's what I think I give most to the people out there is I'm someone who I love everyone. I care about everyone, probably a little too much. But I really put a lot of stock in other people, and if anyone ever wants, you know, my attention, or if anyone ever wants to think, you know, like, oh, I just wish someone out there cared, me, Saro cares. Saro will always care. So that's kind of what I'm trying to build here, is just a place for, you know, a place for the broken to heal. Because this stream is a place of healing. It is a place where people can relax. And I hope you relax. I hope I'm filling your brain with big knowledge. And I appreciate you saying that, actually. I do appreciate you saying that. That gives me a lot of hope in what I'm doing here. But alright, does anyone have any questions? Anything you would like me to clarify? Is there something you're confused about? If not, we can move on. If you do want to say something to me, I am all eyes right now. Actually, I do need to get some water, so I'll give you a little bit of time to get your questions or your comments out there. Let's see. Sorry, I don't have anything to contribute to this. Well, that's okay, I'm a gamer. If you just want to tell me what you think, that's also completely fine. I just hope you're you're having, I don't know, I just hope you're gaining something from this is all. Is the stream ending now? No, we have one more section, and then we'll have one more time for we'll have one more moment for questions and comments. It's very appreciated. I hope you know that, to hear how much you care about us. I do. You guys literally have no idea, like, when I get like a little message from you guys, I get very happy when I get to talk to you guys and I get to see you guys in chat. I don't know, it makes me very, very happy. I don't know. I love people. I just love everyone so much, and it's like I said, I definitely get way too invested in people. But at this point in my life, I've decided that loving people with everything I've got is more important than the fear of getting hurt. Because let me tell you, I got hurt quite a lot recently. And even after all of that, I'm still trying to make new friends. I'm still pouring my heart out to people. I still just want everyone to know, like I care about you. Like, even if you feel like the world's against you, just to always know that Sero's got you. Sero's got you. And I encourage other people to be like that. Obviously, you know, not everyone can be like me. not in like a bragging kind of way. It's just I am the way I am because of, you know, who I am. And I think everyone is beautiful in their own unique, lovely way. But okay, I think are we good, everyone? Are we good on comments? Are we good with chit chat? Because we got one more section to this topic, and we will then end after that. Okay, bruh. Whenever my body relaxes, my little bro gets in and says, "Are you still watching the waves?" Well, hey, I don't know. Maybe share it with him. I don't know. Give. I don't know. Maybe give your little bro something to share with each other. Having a shared interest can bring a sibling relationship to a very, very beautiful level. I've learned when my sister Sarah and I have an interest together, our relationship always improves. Actually, I'm going to see my brother Chero here, and we're going kayaking in a couple of weeks, and it's gonna be very fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun doing that. So yeah, I don't know. Try maybe share this with your brother, because one thing I think is important, which actually we'll just hop into the topic now, because actually what I was about to talk about is part of this. Why is any of this important? Why am I talking about any of this? It may seem self-evident, but there are things here that we haven't addressed yet. And one of those things is we need to get rid of this zero-sum game. The zero-sum game of people thinking that we have to take every resource. Now, like I said, we don't live in a perfect world. Obviously, there's a finite amount of resources in the world, but there are some things that are not. And people really treat everything like a finite resource, when in reality, a lot of things are not like that. In fact, the more the merrier. So like a lot of people think, like, in terms of competition, of if I show this to someone else, or if I give this person an idea, or actually, as a streamer, if I see another streamer with more viewers than me, a lot of people get jealous, or they get angry, or they act like, no, this is mine, when in reality, a lot of the times sharing will just make things better for you and for them. A lot of the times sharing and being around other people is like the best thing for everyone. Because when we do kind of have that mentality of no, of like jealousy, and like, no, if they get this, then I won't have it, which is, it's a very primal thought. It's a very, very primal thought about stuff like this. However, when you give to other people, a lot of the times it only can benefit you. It will only benefit you in some way, like in terms of like me being a creator. If I got jealous at that bigger streamer and I tried to be like, oh, I'm gonna take away your viewers, ha ha ha, that's just not, or I start feeling like, oh, this person's taking my viewers away, that's not productive at all now, is it? It's now I'm trying, instead of putting on a good show for the people who do like me, I'm working on trying to ruin another person's show. Or even more than that, I could have just reached out to him and maybe he would have said, heck yeah, and then I would get more viewers, he would get a new friend that's entertaining, And so we need, one of the big reasons why this is so important is because we can help others. We will ultimately benefit from a more moral world. Everyone will. So being in control of our emotions, when we learn how to control our emotions, of taking us, you feel something and you start to automatically react, for example, you're a little kid and your brother annoys you and you like immediately you bring your hand up to like, oh, I'm gonna smack him. And growing up is stopping that. Growing up is, you lift your hand, is like, before you even lift your hand up, you think to yourself, am I doing something productive? Am I doing something that is good? Probably not. Smacking someone is rarely a good thing. But taking a step back and saying, how can I find a different way to resolve this situation? What is the best way to resolve this situation in the best way possible? Where we both benefit. And like I said, that is important, and that is part of and that is part of what we want, right? Having side benefits is not an immoral thing. Another person, if you cause another person's happiness and it ends up in your benefit, that's a completely moral thing, as long as your heart's in the right place, as long as your benevolence is in the right place. And so it is a very, very very important thing to, have that emotional maturity to take that step back and say, is what I'm doing the most moral thing? Am I treating this person like a human being, or am I treating them in a way that benefits only me in a way? And so, like I said, ultimately, what is the most important thing is we can act this way. We can help people learn how to act this way. Because I think a lot of people, I'm going to be honest, I'm very generous with a lot of people. I think a lot of people just don't think about or understand how to think about the world in this way. I think they don't take any of this stuff into consideration just because they don't know. And it's never crossed their mind to think about it like that. So that's what that's like my big reason, you know, that's my big why. Why? Because we can make a better, more mature, more peaceful world. You know, if we can teach people how to act this way, if we can teach ourselves to act this way, if we can practice, because you're not going to be perfect. You know, that's another thing. You're never going to be perfect just starting off. You have to understand these things are a process. You're going to get angry at first. And I know this because I have done so many perspective changes in my life. And the important thing is you catch yourself. You realize, oh, that wasn't the right thing to do. And instead of, you know, feeling guilty about it or trying to make up for it, you just make up for it by being better next time. Next time a situation that comes up like this, I'm going to act correctly. And that's what I tell myself. And I work, and that usually works out for me. So I think that's all. I think that's all I wanted to talk about tonight. Like I said, let's do a little rerun. Human resources is a very toxic relationship that we have in our society nowadays, and it's something that I believe can be remedied through human action. Human resources is using people to gain things for ourselves instead of trying to benefit other people. The formula, and remember, the formula for morality is morality equals benevolence times action. So if ever a human becomes a part of the equation of, I want this thing, I need to use another person to get it, that is an immoral action. We need to start acting this way because we can make a better world, a better world for everyone, because it's not a zero-sum game. It is not the haves and the have-nots. It is, if we share, if we work in the mutual interest of other people in the best we can have a beautiful world with beautiful relationships and beautiful love everywhere. I know I sound a little bit like a hippie, but I do believe it is achievable if we act reasonable and we act mature and we train ourselves to act mature. And yeah, I think that is all I think I wanted to say. I'll turn it over to you guys one last time. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what, if you have some overall thing you want to tell me. If you just want to comment now, we can have a regular chit chat now. But all right, let's see. Not gonna lie, you have a point. Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad. Whatever you took away from it, you see what I'm trying to say. Maybe I'm being mean to him because I think that getting respected because that I'm older than him, because I used to respect my older brother so much. Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Sometimes, a lot of the times actually, we treat others in a way that we have been treated in a similar position. Like I said, I'm the youngest of three brothers, so I have two older brothers, and let me tell you, they were not very nice to me. And because of that, I was not very nice to my sister. However, I learned to I learned that if I'll actually go into like kind of what you're saying. Yeah, respect. If you think your little brother should respect you, a good way to kind of gauge that, if you do want to be respected by your brother, you need to act respectable. And what is something that people respect? They respect people who are, mature. They respect people who are kind of like your parents, your parents who I don't know anything about people's lives or outside of these chats, but I wouldn't even say your parents. Look at people who you respect, who you look at them and you say, wow, that person is really worth my time and energy. Like, wow, I like Superman. I look at Superman a lot of the times because Superman, he does things, even though he's a super powerful alien that could destroy the world and could, destroy everything and rule over us, he doesn't, because he believes that his power should be used for good. And for me, that is something that's respectable. And that is a super respectable thing when you have power over someone, when you are, maybe in a higher position at work, when you are maybe stronger, bigger, whether you have more money than someone else, to use that for the person, quote unquote, beneath you, to use that stuff to help that person out, that will make you a paragon. Paragon means, paragon is like, paragon is like you are someone worth respecting. Now, my older brother is mature. He is nice to both of us. Well, good. But yeah, look at stuff like that, look at it like that, is try your best to benefit other people. Be the person, I don't know, I would say make your goal like once a day, make your brother happy or make someone in your life happy. Just once a day, do something that just, makes them smile, even if it's just something like, hey, I love you, or hey, you, that thing you're wearing right now, it looks really good. Or, just that's the best way to practice, is once a day, just do something for another person, even if it stinks. Oh, but all right, everyone. I think we are good. I think we have reached kind of the end of everything I wanted to talk about tonight. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all learned something and you have taken into account a lot of the stuff I've said. I didn't. I kind of feel like I didn't open the argument, the conversation up enough towards pushback or argument. If you want to argue with me now, you can. Sorry, but no. If we are all good, if everyone enjoys, I think we're gonna end now. We did an hour and a half. That's pretty good. That's a good deep talk. That's a pretty good deep talk, if I say so. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys, I don't know, get something out of these, because they're the things that I love. I really like doing these, and I really hope you guys like them too. I really like this stream. Okay, good. Thank you. You answered my question. As long as one person likes these, tells me they like these streams, I will keep doing them. because I think I would still do them anyways because I just like doing them. I think they're important. Do the banana song. All right, it is the end of the stream. It is the end of the stream. We can be a little bit silly again. No more of this deep talk stuff. All right, here's your banana song.
Do you want your banana? Peel it down and go. Do you want the banana? This banana for you.
Dun dun dun. All right, there we go. There we go. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love it as well. Well, good. I'm glad we are all loving the deep talks. I'm gonna try and do one once a week. Just last week, like I said, I was having kind of mental issues last week, which, you know, don't need to go into that, but I'm glad I got to do it tonight. But all right, everyone, I think it's time to say goodbye. I'll see you all tomorrow. We will be drawing tomorrow. That's right, we're drawing. I'm doing art again. I really want to do art again. I really want to get good at art. I've loved art my entire life, and I need to get better at it. But okay. But all right, everybody. We will not be raiding out tonight. I'll just be saying goodbye. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you all have a bright and shining night. Have a good night. Have a good rest. Enjoy your Friday tomorrow. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be Friday tomorrow. How did we make it? But all right, everyone. Have a bright and shining night, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.